Online and phone scams can occur at any time and any place. And recently in West Bloomfield, there has been a series of scam calls coming through of individuals claiming to be West Bloomfield Township officials, asking for money and personal information from residents. It's a reminder to residents of Greater West Bloomfield to know who you are speaking to and to be wary giving away private information. And the township is hard at work to make sure this issue does not continue. Teri Weingarden, the treasurer for the West Bloomfield Township, joins us now on the Splash Live to tell us more. Teri, thank you so much for joining us today.
Thanks so much for having me today. I really appreciate it.
Of course.
Go ahead. Thank you so much. There's been a lot of scams going on. So the current big scam we have is if you come before one of our commissions, planning, zoning, and you think that you're going to be able to do the building project that you're so excited to do, you might get an email from the township, but it isn't from the township. And it will look like a real invoice because these people have really become more sophisticated. So it used to be when you got an email, there would be spelling errors, grammatical errors. It didn't really sound like the kind of English that we speak here. However, with AI technology, the scammers are getting a lot better. So if you get an invoice from the township asking you to wire or ACH funds, just know we don't do that. We have the same ways to pay that we always have. So you can always come in person and pay by check. You can go online through our website and there are ways to pay. You can use our Dropbox and pay. Sending electronic funds, never gonna happen. We will never, ever allow that. Also, realize that as government, we have certain email addresses. So for instance, this is kind of a copy of what it looked like. It looks real, but if you look at the top, you'll see it's not wbtownship.org that you're getting the email from. It's probably some strange email address. Just like was mentioned in the last portion, if you get a phone number coming through or an email address you don't know, AI is making it even a little easier for the bad guys to make it look legitimate. Always say, you know what, this sounds a little off. Let me call you back or let me email you back. Go to our website, look up the phone number, 248-451-4800, call into the main line and ask to talk to the department, or go to our website and click on a link to send a message to one of us. Don't trust that the inbound call or email is legitimate. Make sure that you're taking control of the situation and verifying.
That's absolutely right. And it's great to hear that you guys are on top of this and you are making sure that everybody knows to watch out for emails like this. How did you first become aware that people were receiving these fraudulent emails?
So we actually were sent a copy of this email from a resident, and they unfortunately were scammed. And the problem is we didn't receive the funds. So we do have an FBI case set up for this. So we take these scams very seriously, and we realized that we needed to let our residents know. So I will be, I have just enough time to create an insert for the tax bill. I will be sending this information in my tax bill this year, which is going to be mailed out very soon. People receive it around December 1st, showing kind of what the fake invoice looks like. But like I said, just remember that's not how we're going to communicate with you. And also remember, if anybody's ever kind of pressuring you, like you must do this now, it's due now, there's an emergency, anything like that, they do it so that you'll just react, take a beat, breathe, call a friend, call a relative, call us, and just say, it sounds a little off. What do you think? And usually your friend, relative, or town hall will say, that doesn't really sound legitimate. And then always do your due diligence, because there's just a lot of very sophisticated scams. They can even replicate how we look now. So for instance, I'm on this interview right now, which means they know what I look like. They know what my voice sounds like. They technically could mirror me and have me calling you. So just because you think you know someone's voice, ask some questions that would make it obvious if they were really them. And like I said, always be the one who initiates the contact if you can.
All great things to be aware of. And you're absolutely right. These scams are getting a lot more, people are getting a lot more clever with these scams. And like you said, with AI, it's becoming harder and harder to detect things like this and to separate fact from fiction. So I'm curious, what ways legitimately do township officials typically reach out to residents, and how can people verify if that contact is real?
So we normally mail bills, like for instance, your tax bill, your water bill. Unless you've requested an auto pay on your water bill, you're going to get something in the mail. We talk to people via the phone or emails coming from our emails, but we'll never have a link in the email asking for money. We'll never in an email say click here and pay us. We'll always have you go through the website or through one of the normal payment processes, which normally people just come in and pay by check at the counter. So you just think about the mechanism. It's never going to be an electronic form of payment that's not initiated through our website or through us directly.
All right, great things to remember and ways to know if things are legitimate. Teri, how really important is community awareness in preventing scams like this, and what can neighbors do to help each other stay informed?
So that's a really good question. I think sharing this information with people, making sure people know. And also, any of us can be targets, right? So, like I said, especially if you have elderly relatives, neighbors, parents, they're usually a bigger target because these scammers figure that they're more trusting and that they might not be as technologically savvy. So, obviously, any of us can be targeted, and many of us have fallen for scams. But just be careful, verify the information, and remember too, we're never going to ask for gift cards. That's always a big flag, right? Any electronic payment, gift cards, anything where you're giving personal information. Don't give your social security number to anyone. Like the bank, for instance, they're not going to call you. The IRS, they're not going to call you. We're only going to return a phone call. So just think about, how were you communicated with? Like if somebody sends you a text message and you don't know them, don't answer it, just delete it. A lot of times it's like a phishing where they want to build a confidence with you and then they think that you'll trust them. So just remember, if somebody's contacting you don't know, they're not your friend, and you have to keep your radar up.
You're right. It's little things like that. That's how they reel you in, and that's how they get you to disclose very, very sensitive information. All things to watch out for. For those just joining us right now on the Splash Live, I'm talking with West Bloomfield Township Treasurer Teri Weingarden about some recent scam calls and scam emails that have been coming through of people impersonating West Bloomfield Township officials, and things to watch out for to know if these forms of contact are legitimate. Now, Teri, you touched on this just a little bit ago, but obviously the rest of West Bloomfield Township has become informed with this, like the police officers. Are there partnerships with local law enforcement to track down and report these kinds of fraudulent activities?
Oh, absolutely. So even if somebody just contacts you and tries to scam you, let us know. Call the West Bloomfield Police Department. The case that we were made aware of did move all the way through, so the FBI is aware of it, because this is a very serious matter, that they're basically sending an email pretending that you owe money to the township. And it was a lot of money, it was thousands of dollars. So that wouldn't be how we do it. Like I said, we wouldn't send you an email and ask you to wire or ACH money electronically. We just wouldn't do that. But if you think somebody's trying to scam you, let the police department know. If it's legitimate, which usually it's not, but if it is, they'll let you know too how to get in touch with us and we can verify it for you. Always verify. If somebody says that you owe money, don't just pay it. Always verify and then pay it. It just takes a moment to make a phone call. So it's really important to keep law enforcement involved because they do track this. Years ago, we had a check scam where people were stealing our checks through the mail system, washing them, and then sending them to people that we didn't owe money to. And then they'd say, oh, we sent you $10,000. Sorry, it wasn't yours, but you can keep it if you send us back like $9,500. And people would do it. And so then the criminals would keep the difference. And when the people went to cash the checks were fake checks. So they're always coming up with new ideas on how to scam people, unfortunately.
That's right. And if you know of anything that has come your way, any suspicious emails or any suspicious phone calls, you can text 248-975-9200 for any concerns. You can call that number with any of your concerns. Once again, that number is 248-975-9200. That is with the West Bloomfield Police Department. All very, very important information, Teri. You've given out a lot of ways for people to stay aware of these suspicious texts or emails. What would you say is the biggest piece of advice above all else about safely handling these unexpected texts and emails of anyone claiming to be with the township?
You're going to think this sounds too simplistic. Take a big breath. Take a deep breath. If somebody's saying you owe money or you're in trouble or someone you love is in trouble, just stop. Take a deep breath and calm down and go slow and methodically. They're hoping that you're going to be stressed and anxious. And when people are stressed and anxious, they're not as careful. So if there's something coming at you that's stressful or hard financially, or someone's in trouble, take the breath and then say, I will investigate this. Thank you. And then make that phone call or email yourself to verify the information is correct.
You're absolutely right. Above all else, the most important thing to do is don't panic. Let everyone who needs to know what is going on, and people will take care of it from there, and you will be okay. That is, of course, the biggest thing everyone can remember. Teri, thank you so much for this conversation. I got one more question before we wrap things up. Looking ahead, how can residents stay connected with official township updates to ensure that they're getting accurate information from the right sources?
Well, first of all, we post these type of things on our website. Second of all, in the case of this scam, since it's such a sophisticated scam, I'm putting a message in my tax bill, but you always can call Town Hall. We have an open door policy. We're here every day. We're happy to talk to you. And also, as you mentioned, the police department, the administrative non-emergency line, they're aware of what's going on. And we all work together. I mean, we work with each other on a daily basis. We're very fortunate that all of our public safety and Town Hall, we really are an integrated force to protect you.
You're absolutely right. All of these great resources working together to make sure stuff like this does not happen. Teri, thank you so much for joining us today here on The Splash Live.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Have a good day.